Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss human respiratory system. We are going to discuss some of the parts of human respiratory system in detail. See, the first part of human respiratory systems are nostrils. Externally, basically two nostrils are present, and with the help of these nostrils we are going to intake air from the atmosphere. These nostrils are known as external nares. The structures, these nostrils are going to open into cavities, and those cavities are known as nasal cavities. We are having two nostrils, and each nostril is going to open into one nasal cavity. How the distinction between the nasal cavity is formed? Basically, there is a septum, there is a line that is made up of cartilage, and this septum is going to divide these nasal cavities. These nasal cavities are having some of the structures, like they are having hairs, lining of hairs are there. They are having some mucus glands which are going to release mucus, and hair and mucus are basically responsible for the entrapment of dust particles that are present in the air which we have inhaled, plus they are going to moist this air, and both these things are required for proper exchange of gases. This is how nasal cavity are present. If I show these nasal cavities in a diagram, see, this is how nostrils are present. This will be the bony palate, and this bony palate is going to separate our oral cavity. Over here tongue is present, gums and teeth are present, and above this the nasal cavity is present. Now this nasal cavity is showing some of the ridges. Some of the bulging structures are present over here, and these are three bulges, three ridges known as superior, middle and inferior nasal concave. All these three structures are basically increasing the surface area. Whenever we talk about the bulging portions, just like villi, microvilli that are present in small intestine, just like that these bony ridges are basically increasing the surface area. Now, when we talk about this palate, remember hard palate and soft palate. Beyond this soft palate there is a structure that is hanging in our mouth in the back side, and that is known as vulva. Now function of this vulva will be, whenever we are going to eat food, this vulva is going to, this is the nasal chamber tract, this is opening like this way, so it is going to move upward like this way, and it is going to close our nasal cavity. So whenever we are going to eat food, breathing will be stopped for some time, temporary time period, breathing will be stopped. So this portion, the outer portion will be the external layer that is present externally, the external opening. The inner opening of this nasal cavity will be known as internal nair. So this is how external and internal nair are present. Now, the next structure that is coming from this nasal cavity will be the pharynx. Pharynx we already talked in the digestive system. Basically, the pharynx region is divided into three types: nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. See what is present in our body. What happens? Basically, the pharynx region is common between our buccal cavity and nasal cavity. Now, this pharynx is dividing into two tubes. The front side, the anterior portion of the tube will be our respiratory system, and this is, suppose this is the respiratory system, and just beyond this respiratory system you can say this is the trachea or windpipe, and just beyond this trachea or windpipe our digestive system, or you can say esophagus or food pipe is present. So one portion is entering into pharynx region, is divided into this trachea part, another portion is divided into this esophagus part. So this portion, this is the nasal chamber, is going to open into this portion. This portion is nasopharynx, in which the nasal cavity is opening. Now some part is going to open over here, so that will be laryngopharynx, and the portion that is leading into the esophagus, that will be oropharynx. So this is how pharynx is divided into three parts. Nasal cavity is opening into nasopharynx. The part of pharynx that is near to larynx is laryngopharynx, and near to food pipe is oropharynx. Other than this pharynx, the next tubular structure that is coming in our respiratory system is larynx portion. We have also heard earlier about larynx. Larynx is also known as voice box or sound box. Before the time of puberty, there is not so much difference that can be clearly seen in the larynx of males and females. But after puberty, there is clear-cut distinction between the larynx of male and female. You can easily see in males basically a bulging point is present over here, and that bulging point is the voice box or larynx region, because in males it is more prominent and moving outward as compared to females. Now this larynx is what is happening. This is our pharynx portion, and there is a distinction over here. The front is moving our trachea, windpipe, and the back side it is moving, and it is our food pipe. So the partition of pharynx into this two pipes, that is known as glottis. So glottis is that aperture from where the pharynx is leading into trachea, and this whole structure is made up of cartilage. This is whole cartilaginous structure, so it is made up of cartilages. Now different type of cartilages are present in this larynx. We have to see how many type of cartilages are present and how these cartilages are arranged. If we count the total number of cartilages, so basically 9 cartilage are present over here. Out of these 9 cartilages, 3 cartilages are present in pairs and 3 cartilages are present singly. So total 6 will be here and 3 will be here. Total 9 cartilage are present in the larynx. So let's discuss which type of cartilage are present in the larynx and how they are arranged. The first cartilaginous structure that is present in the larynx is epiglottis. What this epiglottis is? This epiglottis is simply a flap that can go open or close, and that is present on just the upper portion of larynx. This is the uppermost portion of larynx, and from one side the epiglottis is attached and it is acting as a flap that is going to open or close. So whenever we are going to take our food, this epiglottis will open and close. This is the function of epiglottis. The second cartilage that is present over here is thyroid cartilage. The thyroid cartilage is present in all over the front portion of larynx. If you see the larynx like this, a tubular structure, so all the front region of the this larynx will be covered by thyroid cartilage. So I am showing like this by dotted manner. This whole region is thyroid cartilage. Some of the backside regions also, just above and below sides, are covered by the thyroid region. That's why thyroid cartilage is the largest cartilage that is present in the larynx. Just below this thyroid cartilage, another cartilage is present, that is cricoid cartilage. cricoid cartilage. So this is the front view of larynx. If we see the front view of larynx, suppose this is a tubular structure, that is larynx, and this is the front view. So front view, we are going to see three cartilages. This topmost part of larynx is covered by a flap, that is epiglottis. All the front side of the larynx is made up of thyroid cartilage, and just below this thyroid cartilage a fine sheet is present, a fine slit is present, that is cricoid cartilage. Only three cartilages are visible from the front side. If we have to see the remaining three pairs of cartilage that are present in the posterior region of the larynx, means on the back side of the larynx. So we have to see the back side view to see all the three cartilages. This is the epiglottis, the backside view of epiglottis, and here hyoid bone is present. See, there is a bone that is present over the larynx, and that is known as hyoid bone. So this is hyoid bone. This will be the epiglottis, and below the epiglottis over here two cartilages are present that are very small in size, and they are known as arytenoid cartilages. So these are arytenoid cartilage. These are small pair of cartilage that are present in the posterior region of the larynx and at the base of the epiglottis. And on the upper face, these are arytenoid cartilages. On the upper portions of these arytenoid cartilages, again two very small cartilages are present, and that are known as corniculate cartilages. These corniculate cartilages are lying at the just at the tip of the arytenoid cartilage. So this is corniculate cartilage. The last one is the cuneiform cartilage, and this cuneiform cartilage is going to join the epiglottis with the arytenoid. It is not clearly visible, but it is going to be present in between somewhat here. Now all these structures, all these cartilages are joined to each other by ligaments. Various ligaments are going to be present over here, and these ligaments will be responsible for the joining of each and every cartilage. Now the main structure that is present in the larynx is voice box, or you can say voice cords. Voice cords are having, basically this is, the larynx is going to be a circular structure. The voice cords are basically formed by two membranous folds that are extending toward the lumen. This will be the lumen of the larynx. They are extending towards the lumen in the interior side, and these membranous folds are going to vibrate, and vibration of these membranous folds leads to the production of sound. Now when they are going to vibrate, they are going to vibrate when we are exhaling, when we are expiring the gas. So lungs are going to create a pressure from downwards, and because of this downward pressure, the air is moving on these membranous flaps. They start vibrating, and because of their vibration, sound will be produced. So this is how larynx is present, that is made up of various type of cartilages. Some cartilages are present singly, while some are present in pairs. All these cartilages are present in a specific manner, plus they are joined to each other by thyroid, different type of ligaments, and most importantly voice cords are present that are helping in production of sound. Rest of the structure we will discuss in our next class.